Hey everybody, welcome to Near Disney. It's the Wednesday show where we local real estate experts get together in our Brady Bunch Square panels and just chat amongst ourselves about what's going on with the market in the housing, as well as just all things Orlando area that are developments. We've got cool update on Lou Gardens and new things that are going to be happening with that beautiful
Nice.
part of Orange County, as well as as well as your home decor guides. We're gonna keep you up to date on what's trendy. But before we launch into that, let's cue our theme song. All right. Hope the energy is strong. So I guess we'll just start off by introducing ourselves. Two of us on the panel tonight. I'm Elijah Lewis with Florida in Motion Realty. On Near Disney, they call me the Prince of Real Estate. And in the box beside me, we got
I am Sue Coptia with Florida in Motion Real Estate, and it is great to be here tonight. They call me Aurora.
That's right. And so now we've introduced ourselves with our Disney monikers. Feel free to chime in the chat or the comment section if you didn't catch us live. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, or maybe what Disney character you'd be if you could be one. Sometimes some of the people who watch the show actually are Disney characters. They
That's
work for
true.
Disney, and they'll be cast members who are the actual character performers. That's awesome. We've definitely gotten some of those people into some housings for their own happily ever after. Yes. Found the home that was the glass slipper fit.
Nice.
So as we're chiming in, I want to just say that the big word of the day is rate cuts. Oh my gosh, we got another one. Are you kidding me? Well, kind of expected that there would be more, but hey, we'll take it. So Fed cuts rates again.
Yes.
What does it mean for mortgages as the market reacts? This is Realtor.com just giving us a little bit overview. The Federal Reserve announced its second rate cut in a row, easing monetary policy about while there's concerns about layoffs and some economic fallout from the government shutdown that is ongoing. So basically, yeah, they voted and they made it happen. Basically, this decision takes the Fed's overnight rate down to a range of 3.75% to 4%, marking the second consecutive cut since September, and taking federal funds rate to its lowest since late 2022. So while we're already, I know we're
That's
getting
good.
a step closer to that. It's a little up in the air whether there'll be another one, but Wednesday's quarter point was widely anticipated and kind of already largely priced into mortgage rates, which have fallen in recent months, reaching a one-year low of 6.19% last week, according to Freddie Mac. And I was just in Tampa visiting a friend who just, he's my age. We went to college together, and he just happened to be in the market for buying a house last year, and he just was a little griping about like getting like a rate in the low sevens, like at the time or something. And so as he's watching these rate cut announcements closely, this already looks like the low sixes here, and if it keeps going, it might be already time to start talking about refinancing.
Mhm.
That's just one thing that is often available to you, which is why we tell you not to like maybe hesitate so much if you're looking for a house or you have an opportunity to find the right house. The right house is going to be there for you, and the right rate can be there down the line.
That's right.
So yeah, just calling attention to that. And then one other thing we just wanted to draw attention to is an opportunity for living in Celebration, Florida, the town that was built by Disney. We have this listing that is in the exclusive private area of Celebration called Artisan Park. This is a beautifully renovated 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath home, just under 1,400 square feet, all on one floor in an elevator building. And so I'm going to show you the beautiful video that we made to showcase it first, as we're asking $450,000 for this, and you will see the incredible view off this balcony that just makes it such a stunner for this premium. Please enjoy this. Awesome. And like there is that view I was
Yeah.
telling you about, just to be able to sit out on a nice large balcony and enjoy your morning coffee or just anything, just conversations out.
Yeah.
It's just stunning there. So this is a, like I said, a condo in Artisan Park in Celebration, 1230 Right Circle, unit 308. So you're up on the third floor with that great elevation looking down at the most stunning conservation and water in that private area Celebration. So asking 450,000 for this premium lot if you're interested in that. And also on this channel, if you subscribe, you'll see that we have done videos showcasing the amenities in Artisan Park in Celebration. It's actually an award-winning clubhouse that has a wonderful management, provides its residents of that village, that neighborhood in the Disney town with the largest heated pool and spa, as well as private restaurant and bar, and big fitness center, community events that they put on to just keep them all together. So hey, lots of great stuff. If you ever go into our YouTube channel in the separate search, you can like type in like the keyword Artisan Park. You'll see our familiar faces just talking to the management there and just giving you the whole tour of that awesome facility. And so I'll just kind of throw this over to you, Sue. You had an interesting look on what has become a new trend in home decor and home layout for as far as the bathrooms are concerned. What do you
Yeah.
have to say about this?
Well, I had actually seen this in a couple of model homes not too long ago. And what these are called are wet rooms. And I experienced them in Europe years ago because their
Okay.
bathrooms are so small that they have to make sure that you can do everything, shower, shave, use the restroom however you want it. But they condense it into a very small space. So there's a drain in the floor and, there's no shower curtain. But what these wet rooms have become, as you can see, they are so expansive. And this one's got 3 shower heads on one side, and you can either do the whole bathroom as with all of the equipment and everything able to get wet, or you can cut off, maybe just section it off into one end of the bathroom. But it's just I really liked it because it just kind of reminded me of, trips to Europe, and those great the great fixtures that they had, and the options that you could do, like you saw, there were so many different tubs, or you don't have to do a tub, or you can do bench seating. And I just love this idea. It is a little more involved, when
Yeah.
you are when you're either building or when you are going to renovate. But if you're renovating a fairly small bathroom, this is great. It's great because the space efficiency, it's open. The shower doesn't require an enclosure, so the room feels a lot bigger. It brings in a higher price value to your home.
Mm.
And it's there's tons of flexibility, whether it's, like I said, like the tub and the sinks and all that. But the doors, where the doors are, it can make they can make it look so seamless, like the doors aren't even there. It is
True.
very low maintenance. When you have when you've got fewer frames, you've got less crescent edges to, catch soap scum and, possibly grow mold without you even realizing it, and all of a sudden it's there. So, and the other thing
Sure.
is this type of bathroom is definitely going to raise your value, like I said, but it's also going to make you stand out if you're looking at selling your home.
So that's interesting. One thing that I have seen, I've been in the real estate market, as a realtor for about 8 years now or so, and some things, some trends have already started to shift. Like I saw the silver hardware turn into the gold
The gold.
hardware on stuff, but then there's some things that have stayed pretty much the same. People still really like their open floor plan concepts for those living common areas, for your living room, into your kitchen, into your dining, into your breakfast nook kind of thing. And it's kind of funny to see the open floor plan concept stay so popular that it might even be expanding into the bathrooms
Right.
themselves at your primary. Like this is like an open floor plan bathroom here, obviously, this square footage on this particular, I'm going to call it an estate, is like the size of my bedroom at home. But still, the idea is there. When you realize, especially when you take the furniture out of a furnished home, sometimes it makes the home look that
So
much
much
bigger, and you kind of
bigger.
appreciate the square footage. So sometimes you take like all that stuff out of your bedroom. You say, oh, wow, I had a pretty big bedroom when you took out my huge armoire and my wardrobe and my drawers and my dressers and my king size bed, and then you
Right.
start to think like all the ways that maybe I could have, made it more ergonomic in space. So if you like demo your primary bathroom, if that's part of your budget, you might kind of realize that, wait, there may be some way to kind of feng shui this into something more spacious, where maybe it's not like 20 by 20 feet like you see here,
Right.
but can kind of be that open feel that's valued and trendy now, and could add some good resale value to the home. So wet rooms,
Wet
it is called.
rooms,
If you
yes.
want to,
Mud room. We have mud rooms and we have wet rooms now.
well, I just thought, so it's not a water closet anymore. It's your wet room.
Right.
And that's cool. And speaking of the idea of remodeling things a bit, I saw this interesting coverage here that's, saying that the Orange County area is remodeling the Lou Gardens Botanical Park. And that's kind of like in your Winter Park-ish area, thereabouts. But basically, or master plan to transform Harry P. Lou Gardens. Basically, this is like a decade-long master plan to expand and modernize the botanical garden. It's going to include things like a new visitor center, children's garden, outdoor stage, like kind of like an amphitheater thing, enhanced plant collections to showcase like beautiful flowers. I saw someone in a video that they were covering here on as well. Welsh, what NBC was like talking about potential butterfly garden. And so basically, yeah, long-term vision for one of them pretty places to hang out. And they do have some concept art already, looking all futuristic and beautiful as far as a visitor center is going. For ticketing areas, you do kind of have to pay to enjoy and get into this place, but they're going to make it all the more worth your admission. Overlooking Lake Rowena, so they're going to also just kind of utilize the remodel to take more advantage of the water views that are possible and able on that lakefront. Performance stage, community events, nature-based play and learning. Okay, so like some interactive experiences. So yeah, now let's accommodate this growing experience. There's already 300,000 visitors annually, so they're just going to keep it going. I saw they said take it from like a hidden gem to like a main vein staple of Central Florida. So that's also cool. So basically modernizing our horticultural facilities, and it says that they're also taking a look at enhancements to arid garden, camellia garden, collection, rose garden, palm and tropical garden. So hey, I love to see these beautiful green spaces in the Sunshine State get as flourishing as possible there.
Yeah, these parks and things like this are so important, just not just for aesthetics and for place to vacation, but just for the environment. And, like we love our clear skies here and all the sun and the crazy clouds that have personality. And, greenery has a lot to do with that. So yeah, that's really nice to see they're doing that.
Yeah, and if anyone watching has ever been to Lou Gardens, you have an opinion about it, or if you think that this is a cool thing, I have not been there for some time, but gosh, I should make a point of it. They put on cool stuff there. I need to utilize an excuse, especially while it's still before it gets a little, too much further into jacket weather.
Jacket weather.
to light sweater weather.
Light sweater weather. Yes, there you go.
Hey, I often show up on these shows with a t-shirt. Now I got long sleeve.
Oh my gosh! Because it's what, 72 outside? Is that what it is?
I came here I moved here. People may know, from Nebraska, where it can get like negative 18 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, and I tell you, I turned into kind of a wimp after not too long at all when I moved here. It's crazy. It'll be like April in Nebraska, and they'll still have like these snow plowed mounds of mush that just never melt until like summer, and this is depressing. It's like, come on, man, when those are gone, then it'll feel like spring. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up this other article that you found, Sue, that's about smart home buyer plans. So how would you guide a buyer in this shifting market right now?
Well, this is actually a list of what not to do when
Okay,
you are getting
just as
ready to,
important.
yeah, when you are getting ready to buy a home. So the first on the list is financial mistakes that sometimes people make, and that can be, detrimental. Um,
Sure.
Usually a lot of stuff that you don't even know, you don't realize happens. There's a way to fix it or make it better. But if you know going in a lot of the things that people make mistakes with and you don't want to follow suit, then this is a good list for you. So before you start shopping for a house, you want to get approval for a mortgage. That's
Sure.
really important if you can do that. And it's only an estimate, but it means that a lender has verified your income and has promised to loan you a specific amount. And that is almost any more. If we make an offer on a home for you, the agent and the seller is going to want to see that pre-approval letter,
Yep.
or if you're paying cash, proof of funds, that kind of thing.
And we
So
also got to give like those sometimes an agent won't do their diligence. They'll just accept the paper they got and say, okay, I guess it's good. But sometimes it's good to call that phone number on the sheet and make sure that a real lender picks up, and that they can kind of also guide you through
yes.
how they're qualified.
Yeah, exactly. See what they did to make sure that you're qualified. Don't buy the most expensive house you can afford.
Oh,
Lenders may approve you for a larger loan, but if you max out your budget, it's going to leave you house poor. And it's going to mess you up if you are, saving for retirement, if this is not your first home, if it's maybe the last home you're wanting to buy. And it doesn't allow you any leeway when you're trying to take care of unexpected expenses. And that could be anything from, a broken appliance to, in a medical emergency. And so it is a good rule is to keep your housing costs under 28% of your gross monthly income. So whatever your house payment is, it should be 28% or less of your gross monthly income. Don't drain your savings. Don't take every dime out for your down payment, because you've got to remember you also are going to have closing costs, moving expenses, and maybe some immediate repairs after you move into the house. So it's just a good standard for everyone, not just people buying a house, but it's a really good standard to have your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months just ready to go in case you need something. So again, back to getting approved, you definitely want to shop around for a mortgage. So don't go with the first lender that you talk to, because they know you're shopping around. They know that you're interviewing other people. And there might be a really small difference in the interest rate that one lender is able to give you over another. And it can make a lot of difference. Maybe not so much in your monthly payment, but over the course of a year or 2 years, or, in a lot of cases, 30 years, if you're going to, stay in the same place and live there for a really long time, maybe raise your kids and wait till grandkids come along. Don't take on new debt, and try your best not to change jobs. So lenders want to see a stable environment regarding your debt and your jobs. So they really like to see you if you're in a new job, they like to see a couple of years. Some will give you a little bit more, a little bit less, leeway. But that's a good kind of rule of thumb, is you want to be, because 2 years is a really good amount of time for people to, get their feet wet in their job, get to kind of learn what they're doing. Your employer pretty much knows you're going to stay for a while. And a lot of places anymore, some of them have, if you're working for the government, a lot of times it can be a year probation. And so you aren't even through probation yet at the end of the first year.
yeah, and these
Don't.
are real. These are real things. These are not just boogeymen or urban legends. I mean, like just this week, I saw a deal fall apart because a guy had bought a car and financed it and didn't disclose that. And so,
Mm-hmm.
just hates to get that going. They're going to find out. It's going to come up when they search. There's these intricate systems that are deeper than you'll ever know. And so this guy, the lender really gave him hell, and yeah, he missed out on the chance to get to closing day because of that. So it's a
Oh,
real
I'm
thing. You really
sorry to
got to
hear
tighten
that.
your belt there, and
So
and
frustrating. Well, and
and
what a lot
also
of
with
people
the
don't,
2-year thing, yeah, plenty of
yeah.
times we run into that someone will have just started a new business or a job, because you kind of you want to move into the area where you
Mm-hmm.
work, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
get your job and get your house near to your new job and all
Proximity.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you kind of realize that, like, wait, all of a sudden when it comes to financing, there's a little trouble there. So maybe I'm renting, or maybe I'm just staying but little farther commute where I am, just that little extra time, so that I can get the better loan by showing that 2 full years. So
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, I have seen that too. We work with people on a long term here. When you get our number here on the screen, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you need to start already looking at houses or getting contracts written up within a week or two. There's people who have been on our radar for literal, like, like a year, like 6 months to a year, and we're
Oh,
happy to
yeah.
just fill that long term funnel with you for your timeline.
Well, and it doesn't mean if you've only been in your job for a year, it doesn't mean don't reach out to us because we can't help you, because
Exactly.
we definitely can. What you were talking about buying a car, the other thing is don't open new credit cards. And what a lot of people don't realize is the lender is going to run your credit when they pre-qualify you, but they're also going to run your credit right before they fund your loan. And so if you try to sneak in something like Elijah said, buying a boat, buying a car, something like that, or getting, one or multiple new credit cards, not a really good idea.
Yeah, it was the
One thing,
second check that got him.
what I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. There was one thing that I saw that I read up on later after I had already submitted this for the show tonight, based on that the credit card thing. I thought this was a good idea, and for saving for your down payment, if you already have a credit card that does cash back, if you're able to use that card for as much as you can, and just take that cash back and stick it in an account and just call it your home buying account or your down payment account or whatever it is, and then just pay that card off at the end of every month. That's also going to help, with your credit rating. It's going to help it go up. Focus on wants versus needs. Some things are definitely things you want to make sure your home has. For instance, if you need a certain number of bedrooms, then you need a certain number of bedrooms. But if the house doesn't have granite countertops and you want quartz, or the other way around, that's kind of a want. And so you want to set that one aside. But if you sit down and make a list of column 1 for wants, column 1 or 2 for needs, or the other way around, it'll really help you in your search. Don't ignore the neighborhood. You do not want to buy the best house on the block, because you can always improve your home. But if your home is the best house on the block, you may not get the investment out of it that you would have expected to if you go to sell it 10 or 15 years down the road, if it's still the best house on the block. Don't be me, and don't let your emotions drive your decision on what to buy. Don't walk into a home and immediately start gushing over it, because then the seller knows they've got you. And so you want to make sure that you really take things to heart. You want to make sure that you are thinking through everything really logically. And again, go back to your wants and your needs list, go back to your budget list, your budget items, et cetera, things like that. Don't skip a home inspection. Even if it's a fairly new home, we would still really encourage you to get that home inspection. And
Yeah, I would say especially new construction, get it looked at, because you don't know what
did or didn't do.
what
Well,
that team missed out on.
exactly. And
You
that's
do
what
get
that,
that final walkthrough with the guy at the end, but you don't know what you're looking for half the time, because you're not
Right.
you're not
If
a
you weren't
home
there
builder
every
guy.
step of the way while they're building it, exactly. And that's what I was just going to say is a lot of people don't even think about it's just to them it's a no, it's just automatic that if it's a brand new home you don't need to get a home inspection. And that really isn't the case. Check on what your property taxes are going to be. And if there is a community development district fee, which we refer to here as a CDD, if that happens to be attached to your neighborhood, then that adds to your annual payment. And then here is the biggest item that you don't ever want to do: not hiring your own real estate agent. We have the expertise, we have the connections, we have the way to navigate through all that complex paperwork. We want to make it the best selling or buying experience for you that you could ever have and make it just as smooth as silk. Think about again, I already talked about closing costs and any legal fees that might be involved, depending on where you buy. Some companies like to use, real estate attorneys versus a title company. Let's see, check your credit report. Be on top of that. Make sure that you are watching it very closely. There's so much fraud and everything going on now that even if you're doing everything you can, doesn't mean that somebody else hasn't hacked into, and is charging, $3 or $4 a week, on a card that they've snatched from you, and then defaulting on that after a year. And, it's just, I've been there and done that. And it's just, you just really want to avoid, just ignoring your credit report. Think about all of the costs involved in owning the home. Once you get through closing and you moved in, you've got, like we were just saying, property taxes, but you've got homeowners insurance, utilities, HOA fees. You've got ongoing maintenance, and of course, budgeting for unexpected expenses and repairs. You can always, check on utility costs in an area ahead of time. We can help you with that. And also we can, connect you with anybody who needs, like if you need repairs, or if you're, looking at trying to upgrade your HVAC after you move in, or, just anything like that. We have great handymen, great contractors, great lenders, all of it. Then the last thing is please read your closing disclosure ahead of time. Make sure that your agent will go through that with you. And that is something that we do. We have our calendars marked. We have everything that we need to do to tell you when in the process of closing, when you need to do what. And that is one thing that we are going to take care of with you. But just make sure that you review that closing disclosure, because you want to make sure that everything gets ironed out, that possibly if there's an incorrect entry, I don't think I've ever had one come through exactly the way it's supposed to at closing the first time.
Wow.
So
Okay. That's
it's never anything huge. It's never anything huge. It's always fixable. It's just, you want to make sure.
You want eyes on it. Look, because some of these people, like they're just getting it done, or they the title company agent doesn't really care, or the seller's agent doesn't really care if they. But we can look at it when we're trying to represent you. It's like, wait, wasn't that credits to the buyer supposed to be there, or did they do
Right.
the proration right, or like, hey, we're trying to find out where that there's nothing that they were supposed to give you, or some fee that they snuck in there, right? That
Exactly.
we never agreed to. So yeah.
Well, we use for our listings, we choose our title company, and that it's never happened with me with our title company. I just want to clarify that in case anybody from there is watching. But when you have a buyer, the home that they're selling, that agent is going to choose 99 times out of 100 is going to choose the title company. And you may or may not know of them. You may or may, we may or may not have worked with them in the past. And so it's just really good to be on top of that.
Yeah, I do have a good title company who, we just judge them by their wins. They get us to closing day. They get us everything. They were very flexible and helpful and accessible. And,
Yes.
that's great. Whenever we can, we try to work with a great title company with a track record. But sometimes, we'll get into these contracts and we'll just kind of let the seller's title company that they picked worked, because there are extra fees that involved with title when it comes to choosing the title company. So sometimes it's like,
Correct.
okay, so we'll let the seller pick it because they'll take on those extra title fees for having done so. Which is why we don't always insist on using some of our preferred title companies sometimes. But hey, sometimes we can talk the seller side into doing it too. So I say,
Mhm.
actually, this title company is pretty good if you want to pick them. No, we can't twist your arm or anything.
No,
Uh,
no, we would never do that.
but yeah, thanks for the comprehensive breakdown there, Sue. Lots of great gems. Hope that we're hitting that 30-minute mark now. So hope everyone got some value out of the show tonight. Oh, we got a comment here saying, "How are we doing tonight?" Thank you for watching, Becky. We're doing
Hey,
good. We love
Becky.
to put on the good content for you. So hit the like button, please subscribe, continue to bring this to more people, wider spread. People from
Mhm.
out of state, out of the country, tune in,
Yes.
call us sometimes when they're planning, because everyone wants to come to Florida, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
it's,
great
it's
here.
fun. It's fun. It was a beautiful day today. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
It was,
yeah,
it was
it was
beautiful.
amazing.
Um, all right, so I'm going to throw it over to Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother real estate, to send us off. And just, our phone numbers are always here for you. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.